Hello, YouTube. I thought I'd do something a little different tonight. I'm sitting here looking at some charts, just kind of getting familiar with my with some charts, which I'll do sometimes. Um, People have heard me say chance favors the prepared mind. So when you study some charts in the evening, you kind of get an idea for the next day, and it kind of helps add to your gut feeling and decision making ability and your intuitive skills, I would say. Anyhow, I was looking at some energy stocks, and just this one was really interesting. It's Sandridge Energy SD. We play it sometimes during the day as an energy play. What I wanted to do is go over the last year or so with you. This is back in 2008, right here. Let me see if I can get my drawing tool. Cool. Um, 30. This is the level of 30 right here. Nice double wick. This is called tweezers, when two wicks go down and then close back above. In this case, 30. Um, that set off, in hindsight, an interesting move, and let's kind of just go through it here. Many times you'll hear retest. Well, in this case, we had a higher low, then we had the lower low here at the 30, but never closed below it with the wicks. I love to see wicks on daily charts. It helps me get ideas for possible short-term reversals. And then rather than making a kind of a head and shoulders pattern here, I did come back down and test for a second time the breakout, or the support, I should say, of 30. And then we start to focus on the moving averages. This yellow line is a 10-period simple moving average. The blue line is a 20-period simple moving average. And just notice, people ask me sometimes, what's your favorite moving average? My favorite indicator of all is volume. And you can see we started to get some volume in here as the stock started to make a move up. Relative to its normal volume, you got to take notice of something like that on a daily chart here we're looking at. So the reason I like the 10-period moving average the most is it tends to support a momentum trend. Any good momentum trend on an intraday or a daily chart is going to follow the 10-period, in my opinion. And let's just look here. Tested it right there. Tested it right there with a wick. Got real close in here. Tested it but sprung right back. So when you're trading intraday and you see the stock in an uptrend, looking at the daily chart, and it's trading down here, it would be a red candle at that point. Sometimes you can really just take a chance looking at the daily chart and not focusing so much on the intraday. And so there's another inflection point right there. I mean, perfect. Nice couple of big run-ups and a 1, 2, 3 day pullback. The third day pullback, honestly, I like a third day pullback. I don't like it when they come back in one day and touch the average, or even two. I prefer 3. It's kind of the magic number. But in this case, that would have been a great buy had I seen that and seen the volume, and I would have probably taken that trade. So after a good month and a half here of a nice little trend, it begins to slow down and get in this area, and this is when things start to chop around. The moving averages here are crossing, and the price is getting a bit choppy. And so the trend is broken, as you can see on that pretty much right here. As soon as it broke through and closed below and broke below this 10-period moving average, all bets were kind of off there and a difficult read. Then we resume the trend. It starts to stabilize. This right here is a really nice sight when I see this stock on the daily chart get back above its 10-period moving average, pull back and rest. Even if it takes 5, 6 days, 2 weeks, whatever, but you keep an eye on it, and eventually, when it starts to break out, I would pay attention to that. So in this case, we have a nice round level of 40, and you can see the stock did chop around a little bit. And I'm not talking so much about day trading here. This is probably a lot more of a swing trading strategy that we're looking at, because this is the daily chart. But again, going back to these points, I would have taken a day trade at those points. So here is a nice momentum play. Look at the volume, very important volume, and a huge move. Once it cleared all this resistance here, it was off to the races, and that would have been a great day trade as well. A bull market in the energy, had I seen that, that is a great bull market run. Follow through on the upside with volume, conviction, closing near highs. Now you can see it did get a little nasty and came right back and pulled back to it. Here would have been another interesting good day trade. Okay, I know all this is hindsight. Perfect is 2020, but I just want to go over a few things here, and I'll show you how this stock pans out. So we continue to move up the 10 period. It really only closes below at one time here. Closes above there, there, and there for the most part there. And continuing to ride its moving average is a little choppy in this area, but a nice pullback, and then another move to highs. And look at this, we've got some good volume down here again as well. So what happens to the stock eventually? Let me take off that drawing tool. And we get up here near, there's some pretty good highs up around 70, and the stock pulls back, breaks through its moving averages, but we're starting to get some violent volatility. Big daily ranges, as you can see, 5-point ranges. As we move the chart through, we get a second attempt up here at highs, and this is a really important note. A lot of people, again, have heard me say how much I take notice of wicks. Well, not only was that a wick, but it was a second attempt to get through, and it created a double top with a wick, and more importantly, climactic volume. Climactic volume can always signal a change in direction, a change of hands. And so there was a lot of profit taking, a big push to go through highs, and when the market realized it wasn't going through highs, look at how long. It only took 1, 2, 3, 4 days to lose about, I don't know, let's see, 25 or almost 30% down here. 15 off of 70, that would have been about 20%. So fear stronger than greed. Once they realized that this wasn't going through, these are the kind of things you need to look at on a daily chart, because this is where it got real volatile real fast. Obviously, looking back here at 55, you can see why that stock wick came down and bounced pretty much right off that 55. Again, looking back at the daily chart, you can see there's some buyers and some support there. So there was really a good reason to take maybe a low risk, very low share size trade right there for a bounce. Would have worked out well. So let's move through the chart a little bit more. Comes up into its moving averages. Oh, one more thing to point out. The fast line here, yellow, has crossed below the 20 period. So we got a lot of things working here showing us that this thing was a short-term, or at least a pretty big reversal. Double top, a wick on that second double top, climactic volume up there, and then moving averages crossing over. Gave us a pretty good indication that this stock became broken. A lot of times, even a trend line, once a trend line is broken, it has a tendency to possibly retest it. Let's see if I can draw a trend line here. Okay. There is a trend line, and you can see that trend line also kind of corresponded to the closing prices here. But we bounced right into the moving averages, blew through the fast line, but the backup stop, I call this like a backstop, the 20. 10 is my favorite, the 20 is a backstop. If it breaks the 20, then it starts to become a non-issue. So let's move through this trade now. 20 period has caught this up move, and it never really spent much time through there. Would have been an interesting possible short entry if you were paying attention to the daily chart there. But now that this trade is broken, this is a broken trade, everything becomes the inverse. Now we have the fast line dominating and pressing down on price, and the 20 becomes the backstop. So you'll see here as we fall down, you got to look at the close. The close is, let me show you the closes on these. It's very important to notice where the stock closes. Closes below the moving average, closes below the moving average, below. So every time it got close here on the upside, there's a nice wick. That would have been a wonderful short entry. Taking a look at the 10 period, again, once a good trend is established with momentum, the 10 period really can be an interesting point if you look at the daily chart. Let's see what else is of notice here. There was a couple of interesting things. You can see that just same old thing. The stock barely closed above the moving average there. Nice false breakout, bear trap rally, or a bull trap as they would call it, and then closes back. Big wick. Do I like wicks? No, I don't like wicks. Wicks signal short-term reversals. So back down through the moving averages. Can't close above. You see right there, it still couldn't close above after that big wick. Another wick above, still couldn't close above. So this is a swing trader's has to pay attention to this kind of stuff here if you're looking for 2 or 3 day moves. Okay, above here, ran out of steam, couldn't get above the previous day's closing body range there. Boom, big sell-off. Bounce back up, just like the opposite. A 3-day, 1, 2, 3 magic number after a move in one direction. 3 days back in the opposite direction. Moving average caught it. It wicked through it. You can see it wasn't an exact science here, but it went right through it, but still closed. Closed being the operative word. Closed below the fast line moving average here. And just a wonderful drop there again. Now, why did this stock stop at 30? Well, I bet if we go back and look, um, well, here we are, 30. This is where we started. And so we started this whole thing back here at 30. And after that huge move up to 70 with a double top, we're back at 30. However, we had a nice rally, nice false rally. This actually looks kind of like where we are right now in the market today, but we're focusing on this SD company. A brief break through the backstop of the 20 period, but couldn't close below it, above it. Had to close below. Again, a very tiny wick above, closed below. The short is still on. So all these people that just bought at 30, maybe these people that were long back here as well, have seen that stock go all the way back to 30. And wouldn't you know it, it had to test it, and it went right through. And it just got annihilated. It is down to $10 now. And now we have a couple of wicks down here. We've got a couple of interesting little short-term wicks. That right there may signal an interesting short-term reversal. And so where we are now, as we catch up here to early November, the fast line is turning back up, getting ready to possibly cross. Again, it has not crossed. This fast line and the 20 period line have not crossed since this chart broke back here at $65 with the double top. Well, it's been an incredible ride through 30. All those people that bought at 30 have suffered incredible pain. Some people tried to pick it up at the round number of 20. Okay, here's again these two wicks right here. Again, wicks symboling short-term reversal on the daily chart. I hope this is starting to show you guys some patterns here. Bouncing up into the upside, more wicks. Wicks showing selling pressure. Cannot close above the 20. And again, we know where the market went in the last month, so this thing just kind of went along with it. And now we have not been able to close. Let's see, not there. We've only closed below 10 1, 2, 3 times. We've not been able to stay below 10 3 times, and now we have broken. The price is now back above moving average and is closed above moving average with a nice candle body. So this is where we are today. This is where I end this video, but I just wanted to kind of show you the anatomy of a momentum trade to the upside and the downside, starting here at 30 with these two wicks, signaling about a week or two later is ready to make a move, following the moving averages as it's trending. And then broken trade, double top, moving averages cross over. That's about it. I think I can honestly tell you that this thing is a mover. Obviously, you've seen it's moved a lot in a short period of time. I don't know if the energy trade is back, but this one may be leading the way out of a technical bottom here. We will keep an eye on it, and what I might start doing is, if I pull this thing up and take a look at it and the candles are pulling down at or near the moving averages, I may take some day trades on this stock. So that's it for that, and hope it made sense. Have a good day.